Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump, and today I'll be doing my top 5 favourite tracks from Wave 4 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, Wave 4 is really interesting. It's pretty fun. I do like a lot of the tracks. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself with the openings of these kinds of videos when it comes to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe waves, because a lot of the tracks are basically really cool when because they're all basically old tracks and they are more re-envisioned for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the way that their game operates with the anti-gravity, the gliding parts, the new items, that kind of thing. And these are just going to be some of my favourite picks from the current wave. So for number 5 is DK Summit. Now this is from the Wii game, the Wii game of Mario Kart, and yeah, I do enjoy this track. I feel like this is one of the more interesting ice tracks, because of snowy ice based tracks, because it's a mountain, and I feel like a mountain based area, or an area based level is an interesting thing to add into a Mario Kart game, and I do like a lot of the things that are on this level. Like there's, I think about halfway through the level, you can go on several ramps, or you can just go off the side and do some tricks, and as well as collecting items along the way. That's quite cool. I do enjoy towards the end the shy guys, because there are several shy guys on snow skis and snowboards, and they're just having a fun time just going up the ramps and stuff like that. And it's really enjoyable to try and avoid them, as well as trying to avoid all of the heavier snow that's made as an obstacle around those parts of the track. And yeah, this is all of them. I would say probably quite tight quite tight in terms of the corners, because you'll come to see a corner. Like let's say you're going up a ramp, and then just do some tricks. Then you have to try and not only get back onto the course, onto the course, but also try and avoid all the tight turns and corners and stuff like that. So yeah, and I think this is just one of the more enjoyable snowy themed areas. For number 4 is Waluigi Stadium. Now I think this is quite cool and interesting, because this is kind of like Wario Stadium, that is in this in the base game. And what I like about this is that it feels more chaotic than Wario Stadium, because with Wario Stadium it just feels like a stadium, and it's got some nice bits to it, like it's got some fire bars, it's got some anti-gravity parts. But with Waluigi's Stadium, it feels a lot more cooler and a bit more chaotic, because I feel like out of Wario and Waluigi is the more chaotic version out of the two, and he'll just add anything to his courses and stuff like that. So yeah, and I do like, again, because this thing has ramps on about the halfway stage, I would say, along with these giant uh, wooden pipes with piranha plants that move in and out, from side to side from time to time. And yeah, I think that what makes this course really chaotic, because if you're going for the ramps and you want to try and do some tricks and collect some items, you'll also have to think about your next move of how you're going to come down, because there are 4 piranha plant wooden piranha plant pipes around the halfway stage, and they are evenly separated from one another, from each other. And I feel like that's what makes this course chaotic, because you have to try and not only avoid them when you're coming off the ramps, but also try and think about how you're going to do your next attempts on the next ramp and stuff like that, as well as trying to avoid all the other races or the ongoing items, that kind of thing. So it's really just really fun, and I do like there's a bit of anti-gravity moments towards the end of that bit as well. I think that's really fun and interesting. For number 3 is Bangkok Rush. Now, Bangkok Rush is one of the tour tracks in this level, and I think this is really enjoyable, because it's got like a sort of like because I think this is kind of like one of those train type areas, but you don't go on the train area. I think because you've got like or like a parking area, because like it's because you go through several, because you go through, like, how to put this, because like Bangkok Rush, like a lot of the other tour tracks, is basically you basically go through three laps throughout three parts of the course, and that's really interesting. And I think that I think this is really fun. Just again, the tour tracks are really interesting in terms of how they present their tracks in this game. And like there's this one bit towards the end, I think on the third lap, we had to go up this car park area, and it's just one massive like corner, I would say, because you are able to get every time you're drifting right, you are able to get the maximum drift boost in that part of the level, and I think that's really cool. And I do like how you can just go up the ramps and all the stairs and just collect some items there, and it's really fun. I think it's really enjoyable. For number 2 is Yoshi's Island. Now, Yoshi's Island is I think it's probably one of the best ones here, excluding the first one, because I do enjoy the first one probably the most out of the other ones that I've talked about in this list. But with Yoshi's Island, I do really enjoy a lot of the things in this level, because this is one of the few levels that's really unique, because it's kind of like the Legend of Zelda track and the Animal Crossing track, in the sense that it's got its own music. Well, a lot of the tracks have their own music, but for Yoshi's Island, it's from its own series of games, being Yoshi's Island, and also having its own noise when it comes to the coins you collect, and that's really cool. And you've got like a lot of enemies from or several background parts or stuff from the Yoshi game, and that's really cool. And this one of those really interesting tracks, because 1 minute you're just driving on solid ground, the next minute you're underwater, then for the final part of the track you're on clouds, and then if you hit this flying cloud, you will be able to go on a ramp that appears, and that's really fun. And I do like the music for this, and it kind of reminds me of the Legend of Zelda pack and the Animal Crossing track, when those tracks were released for their respective packs, and that's really cool. And for number 1 is Singapore Speedway. Now, out of the tour tracks that we've seen so far, this is probably my favourite one out of all the tour tracks, because Singapore Speedway, I would say, uses its laps quite well, and they're really well made, because the first 2 laps are kind of you'll just go through the same gate, and you'll go obviously in different directions. But when it comes to the final lap, you'll go kind of backwards, I think, because there's a bit towards the end when you get to the final lap where you're faced with these tiles, or these moving platforms things, where you've got one will make you faster, one will make you slower, and that's really cool. And that lap is probably my favourite part of Singapore Speedway, just because of that the moment, and as well as you can just glide, and just it's so cool. And I do like it looks the most pleasing as well. I think out of the tour tracks, I feel like this is the most pleasing one. There are some other ones that I do quite like, but I would say overall Singapore Speedway is probably my favourite one, and I do enjoy a lot of the parts you have to try and do in this level, and I think it's really enjoyable. So that's been my top 5 favourite tracks from Wave 4 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.